Hit it, Franklin. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. And welcome, Larry. Okay, yeah, was that the Steve Garvey home run off of Lee Smith game? I think it might have been. Greetings, Kenyon. Hello there. Yeah, that Steve Garvey home run off of Lee Smith cost me a bundle. I'm over it, but I'll never forget it. We're almost ready to go here. Let me set this crap top so I can see the chat here. There's So, greeting So from across the pond. That's right, I remember that. That's a hard one to forget, of course. It's almost time to get underway here. I'll stand on ceremony, and there you go, 129. I can officially announce that it's time for Strat-O-Matic baseball. You know, 68 years ago today, the Fates opted to subject my parents to extreme torment, and thusly I was born. But we've got a ball game today. It's a Friday game. Boston Red Sox at the Kansas City Athletics. Two evenly matched teams. And Dick Stigman, kind of an iffy card. Stigman, a left-hander, which I need to make a note of that because even as I was writing in, somehow in my mind I've got him as a righty. I've been known to make that mistake, as you guys know. Stigman, a left-hander. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Homer, 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 double. Not much better on the left side. And yet, in 4 starts, Stigman is 1-1 with a 3.38 ERA in our replay. Only 20 hits allowed in 24 innings with 20 strikeouts. Ralph Terry will make his first start of the year for Kansas City. He's done a nice job for them out of the pen so far. He's been in 4 games, a 1.80 ERA, just 5 innings. Let's take a moment and look at our standings before this one. It's getting kind of interesting, other than obviously, I mean, we knew Baltimore was going to run away with this. They're 16-4. The Twins 2.5 back. The Tigers, with that win yesterday, pull into a tie with Kansas City. Kansas City slightly ahead on percentage points. They're both 5.5 back now. So Kansas City will try to pick up a half a game here today. Boston 6 back, tied with the Indians. And the Senators 6.5 back. Where were they at this point in real life? Well, the Twins clearly overachieving. They were 9-10 at this point, although they did finish with a very nice record, 549 percentage. Kansas City really overachieving. Boston perhaps overachieving, off to a 7-15 start in real life, although they did end up at 444. They're at 500. Cleveland was 15-5 in real life at this point. So I thought these were interesting. Last 10 games, Boston's won 7 of their last 10 to pull to 500. Kansas City has also won 7 of their last 10. So 2 basically 500 ball clubs that are going very well as of late. Thank you, guys. You know, Kenyon, I think Stigman is one of the cult heroes of the replay. Certainly he's overachieved the card to this point. I just have to remember stigma and Stigman, right? I have a stigma of picturing him as a right-hander for some reason. I never saw the man pitch, so I have no idea why that is. Let's get you the lineups. We'll get this one started here. For Boston, it'll be Rico Petrocelli leading off at shortstop. Jim Gosker is in center field today, hitting second. Yaz in left field hits third. George Scott in the cleanup spot at first base. Tony C. in right, batting fifth. Joe Foy down at third. Mike Ryan will do the catching. George Smith back in the lineup at second, so I guess the Dalton Jones experiment is over for a little while. He'll bat eighth with Stigman, the pitcher, hitting ninth, setting up the Athletics defensively for you. Ken Suarez will be doing the catching. Ken Harrelson is at first. Dick Green and Campy up the middle with Ed Charles at third, and the outfield left to right of Mike Hirschberger, Jose Tartabull, and Ossie Chavaria. And greetings to Ben, and a shout out to Kelly. And back to Larry again. I posed the question, he may not have heard me. Game 4, 84 NLCS, was that the Steve Garvey home run off of the Lee Smith game? I'm pretty sure it was, but just double checking that one. As we get ready to go here with today's venture into the time machine back to 1966. Terry's ready to go. Petrocelli stands in. Petrocelli comes into the game at 286, 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. And here's the first pitch from Ralph Terry. That's going to be a 4-7 right-hander. That's a base hit into left field. A sharply hit single by Rico. And we are underway. Rico with a leadoff single. And here's Gosker now. Gosker just 7 for 39 on the season. That's 179. He does have a home run and 4 RBIs. Gosker, a left-handed hitting outfielder, playing center today. Terry working from the stretch. The pitch to Gosker is a 3-8 right-handed, and he struck him out. Gosker down on strikes, 1 away. And here's Carl Yastrzemski. What's Yastrzemski done so far this year? He's batting .256, 4 home runs, and a team-leading 16 runs batted in, which would place him among the league leaders in that category. Terry working from the stretch. The pitch to Yaz. 2-5 right-handed. It's a grounder to first. Harrelson has it to Campaneris. Back to Harrelson. Double play. Oh, my God, a thing of beauty. 3-6-3 double play. And that will retire the side. No runs a hit, nobody left on. Through half an inning, it's Boston nothing, Kansas City coming to bat. And a shout out to Dave Little, who's joined us. Hope everyone's having a great Friday afternoon/evening. Something magical about a Friday, isn't there? Even in retirement, I still feel it. It's probably all in the mind, right? But you know, it's kind of like George told Jerry about the lie detector test, or how to beat it. If you believe it, then it's true. As Stigman gets loose, I'll give you the Kansas City lineup. That'll be Campy Campaneris leading off at short. Jose Tartabull in center, bat second. Mike Hirschberger in left will hit third. Ken Harrelson, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Ed Charles at third base, hitting fifth. Dick Green at second. Ossie Chavaria is in right field today, batting seventh. Ken Suarez will do the catching. And Terry, the pitcher, will hit ninth. For Boston, Mike Ryan will do the catching. The infield, Scott, Smith, Petrocelli, and Foy from first to third. And the outfield of Yaz, Gosker, and Canigliaro. There you go, Ben. Well, see, that's pretty much what I meant, yeah. And I can tell you what, it's a feeling that I do not forget. Even now, oh God, let's see, in 3 more days will be the anniversary of my retirement from the grocery business. It's hard to believe it's been 13 years. But I still remember that Friday feeling of basically getting the hell out of there, okay? At least for the last 12 years or so. Prior to that, I mostly worked weekends, as most people in service industry tend to do. Stigman's ready to work. Left-handed pitcher. Campaneris will lead things off. Campy hitting .244. 1 home run and 12 RBIs. Campanera standing in from the right side. Stigman lines and deals on a 4-12. That is a high fly ball to left field. That's going to be down for a single, as Campaneris is a weak versus lefties. So a leadoff single for Campy. Campy, a rabbit on the bases. He's stolen 9 bases this season. Has not been caught. That would place him among the league leaders. And as you can see here, Stigman with a horrific hold of +9. Not much Ryan can do about it. Even held Campy's at 18. And he's going to try for that lead right away. We know these Royals love to run. 2 through 6 or 12. That's going to be an 8. He will not get the lead. Even on the back number, he's 16. The pitch to Tartable. There goes Campy. The throw, he's stolen it. So Campy, with his 10th steal of the season, has not been caught. I believe that 10th steal places him second to only Lou Brock in the majors and leads the American League. Here's the next pitch to Tartable, who's hitting .368, by the way. 12 runs batted in. Left on left. It's a 3-5. Tapper to second base. Smith has it over to Scott, and Campaneris takes third on the play. So Campy at third with 1 down. Did I say Royals again, Franklin? God, I keep doing that. But you would know, right? You were the one singing the song. Oh, yes, indeed. Hirschberger will try to pick up that run on third. He's hitting .238. 1 home run, 8 RBIs. They'll be back this early. Stigman, the left-hander, deals. That's a .311 left-handed base hit into right field, and it's a 1-0 lead for Kansas City. An RBI single by Hirschberger. Campy crosses the plate. Hirschberger has wheels himself, held on. He'll be in 18. And he's going to try for that lead. He needs a 5 or a 6. 6, he's got it. The pitch to Harrelson. Here he goes. 1 to 18. He's stolen it just barely on an 18. So Athletics have made it clear that they're going to run on Stigman. And he's a left-hander, too. Usually lefties have a better move to first. Whoops, not so fast. Not so fast, Steve. Harrelson's still up there. Harrelson, .301, 1 homer, 5 RBIs. Stigman lines and deals. It's a 2-8 left-handed. He struck him out. And that's out number 2. For those that don't know, the circled strikeout simply means on the batter's card. I had some requests to do that a while back, and now it's already become pretty much habit. I probably miss one every now and then. I can't promise 0 mistakes, but I strive for as few mistakes as possible. Let's put it that way. Yes, man, they were indeed. They were the Redlegs. I think they were even the Red Stockings way, way, way back in time. Here's Ed Charles now. .294, no homers, 8 RBIs. Runner in scoring position and 2 down. The pitch comes Stigman. 5-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And Stigman gets tough with the runner in scoring position. Fans too. The Athletics do pick up a run on 2 hits and leave 1, and after 1 inning of play, they lead it 1-0. I got a text from Starbucks offering me a birthday beverage of my choice. So I have this humongous cappuccino here. It's pretty good. I don't know if I've ever had one. I normally just drink black coffee. Ah, there's Larry with the answer. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I want to say it was 4 because I was already counting my loot and then forced to game 5. With Sutcliffe going on game 5, I doubled up and put everything on that and lost that. So that's what I mean. The Cubs cost me a bundle in 84. I didn't learn my lesson that year, but as time went on, I certainly did. I don't do that anymore. George Scott will lead it off in the second inning for Boston. Scott, .264 average, leads the ball club in home runs with 7 and has 14 RBIs. Terry, into the windup now. Pitch to Scott, a 6-7 right-hander. It's a 2-hopper to short. Campy on it like a cat, throws across in time. And that'll bring up Tony Conigliaro. Tony hitting .277, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. Terry gets the sign from Suarez now. Here's the pitch. It's a 4-10 right-handed. That'll be catcher's card X. That's going to be Suarez. Suarez, a poor fielder, a 40-16. And here's the roll on the play. And he makes the catch on a pop-out. So pop-out to the catcher X. 2 down, and here's Joe Foy. Foy batting .328. Leads the club in batting for all qualified batters. George Thomas at .333, but just 27 at bats. Foy, 19 for 58, 4 home runs, 6 RBIs. Terry into the windup now. The pitch to Foy is a 5'11 right-handed, a grounder to first base X. That's going to be Hawk Harrelson, a 4'18. Harrelson ranges to his right. Here's the play on a 5. He's not going to get it. That's down the line. Rounding is Foy. He'll cruise in with a stand-up double. Generous scoring. That looked playable to me. But Foy will take it. And he's in scoring position for Mike Ryan, the catcher. Ryan, defense first catcher, hitting just .122 on the season, 5 for 41. No home runs, just 1 RBI. Terry staring in now. Here's the pitch to Ryan. It's a 4-12 right-handed. It's a pretty well-hit ball to left field. Hirschberger backs up just shy of the track and pulls it in. So Ryan gave it a ride, but the side is retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. And we go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Athletics. Here's Stigman now. Dick Green will lead it off for Kansas City. Green hitting .296 on the season, 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. The 14 RBIs leads the ball club, by the way. Stigman gets the sign from Ryan. Here's the pitch to Green. It's a 3-7 left-handed. A grounder to short. Petrocelli has it. Throws to Scott, 1 down. And with 1 away, here's Ossie Chavarria now. Chavarria hitting .256 on the season. No home runs, 4 RBIs. The pitch from Stigman is a 4-3 against the right-hander. That is a base hit into left field. Chavarria also a week against lefties. He'll settle for the long single, and Stigman now has thrown up 2 home runs on his card against W batters, reduced to singles. So Stigman living a somewhat charmed life so far. 1 away, and here's Ken Suarez. I cannot find his numbers. There he is. 7 for 38. That's 184. No home runs for Suarez. Pretty decent against lefties, however, looking at the card. Not much on the right-handed side. Stigman, a lefty, delivers from the stretch. That's going to be a 1-7, and he draws the walk. And that's what Suarez is best at, quite frankly. Suarez, 7 for 38. He's drawn 12 walks. now 13. So he has almost twice as many walks as hits. And here's Terry, a right-handed hitting pitcher. Let's check his bunting rating. He's a C. With one down, he's going to try to lay it down. And here's the play on a 5C, a successful sacrifice bunt by Ralph Terry. Chavarri into third, Suarez into second, 2 away, and Campaneris will try to pick him up. Campaneris led off with a single in the first, stole second, came around to score. Stigman checks the runners now. Here's the pitch to Campy. 5-2 right-handed. That is on a 14, a fly ball to left, playable for Yastrzemski, who hauls it in to retire the side. Another N homer that would have been a single on Campy had he rolled a 1-8. Remember, his single in the first was on an N home run off of Stigman's card. So 2 left on, 1 hit, no runs. And through 2 complete, it is 1-0 at Kansas City. Oh yeah, Franklin. You know, I remember when they became good, how many years in a row was it they would lose to the Yankees in the ALCS? I can still remember that one shot of a rather dejected Freddie Patek with his head down between his knees after the final out had been recorded. And then they finally brought it home in 1985, I want to say. Moving to the third, it'll be Smith, Stigman, and Petrocelli. George Smith back in the lineup. Smith hitting .242 on the season, a pair of homers, 9 RBIs. Terry into the windup. That's going to be a 5-7 right-hander. A grounder to second base X. That'll be Green. Green, a sure-handed second baseman. 2E19. And here's the play on an 18. He makes that look easy as he throws Smith out. 4-3X, 1 down, and here's Stigman now. Stigman, a right-handed batter. 1W. The pitch from Terry. 2-6, 1 on, and miss, strike 3. Not surprisingly. 2 outs quickly, and here's Petrocelli. Rico led off the game with a single, was stranded. Actually, he was not stranded. He was erased on a 3-6-3 double play that Yastrzemski hit into. Here's the pitch from Terry now. It's a 1-6 right-handed. He struck him out. That's 3 Ks now for Stigman. 1-2-3 inning. For Terry. 1-2-3 inning for Terry. Get in the game, Steve. Terry's 3rd K of the game. 1-2-3 inning, and it's still 1-0. Here's Stigman. Red Sox take the field. Tartable will lead things off. 0 for 1 today. Among the league's leading hitters, came into the game at .368. Left on left now. Here's the pitch from Stigman. 4-5 left-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Stigman. And that'll bring up Hirschberger. Mike Hirschberger singled, stole second in the first. Left-hander ready to work. Winds and deals. It's a 2-4. Tapper to second. Smith has it. Sidearm to Scott, and quickly there are 2 away. Now it'll bring up Ken the Hawk Harrelson. Harrelson struck out in the first against Stigman. Stigman staring in now into the windup. And the pitch to the Hawk is a 1-7 left-hander. He pops him up on the left side. Petrocelli calling for it. Puts it away, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dick Stigman. Through 3 innings fairly quickly. It's a 1-0 ball game, favor of Kansas City. Alvin Dark pulling Terry out of the pen for this spot start, mostly out of necessity, and he had mentioned prior to the game he'd be happy to get 5 innings out of Terry today. Gosker will lead it off for the Red Sox. Gosker struck out in the first, batting left-handed. Here's Terry's windup on the pitch. It's a 3-4, and he loses him, ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Jim Gosker. Gosker not a threat to run. Although with a 13, let's check the battery now for Kansas City. It's a +1 and Suarez a +3. That would make him a 17. He does have a slight chance of being automatically out on an 11, but it seems worth the gamble, 2 through 5 or 10, 17 if he gets it. Trying for the lead. On an 8, he does not get it. And here's Yaz now, 0 for 1. Terry from the stretch, 5-8 left-handed, liner right into the glove of Campaneris. Oh my goodness. Yastrzemski hit that one right on the screws, but right at Campy. Throw to first, Gosker back in time. 1 out, and here's Scott. George Scott, 0 for 1 today. Yep. 1 on, 1 away. Terry from the stretch now. 5-4 to the righty. It's a fly ball to center field X. That's Tartable. Tartable, excellent center fielder. A 2-2. He's on his horse now. There's the play. On a 20, he's got it. Fly ball C, runner holds. Scott retired 8X, and there's 2 down. Man, I'll tell you, Tartable just glided to that ball. More difficult play than he made it look. And here's Tony C now. 0 for 1. Terry with the delivery on a 5-8. He pops him up. Campy's calling for it, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, a man left. Terry, so far, has been just about flawless. Pressed into starting duty today. He's done a fine job. Stigman as well. Stigman's only allowed 3 hits. Kansas City literally stole a run in the first, and that's the only run of the ball game. Ed Charles will lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. Ed struck out his first time against Stigman. Stigman gets the sign now from Ryan, and here's the pitch. 6-6 right-handed. He walks him. Lead-off walk to Charles. Charles, a star stealer. Held on. He's an 18, and he's going to try for it. 2 through 5, 11. 8, he does not get the lead. What would he be on the back number? 17 minus, he'd be 13 on his second number. Stigman, once again, with a just horrendous hole, but the most you can have, of course, is +5. Here's the next pitch to Green from the stretch. 3-2 left-handed. He pops him up on the left side. Infield fly as Petrocelli waits for it to come down and squeezes it for the first out. And here's Chavarria now. Aussie, 1 for 1 today. 1 of 3 Kansas City hits so far. Stigman out of the stretch. 5-9 to the right-hander. A grounder to shortstop X. This might be 2. Petrocelli, a 2E38. Ranges behind the bag. Here's the play on a 6. He's got it. Flips to Smith. On to Scott, double play. Nice play, Rico, to retire the side. 6-4-3X. Down go the Athletics in the 4th. Through 4 complete. A 1-0 pitchers duel, favor of Kansas City. Boy, you said it, Franklin, and you know, some guys just have that sound. You know what I mean? Shohei has a very distinctive sound when the bat hits the ball. And there are many others, of course. Terry entering his first inning of potential fatigue, although he's shown no signs of it to this point. He'll be facing Foy, Ryan, and Smith. Yes, Reggie had that. Absolutely. Foy doubled his first time up. Terry, the sign from Suarez now. Pitch to Foy is a 5-7 right-hander, a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Green, a 2E19. Green ranging to his left now. Plugs it up on a nice play and flips to Harrelson for the out. So nice play, Dick Green, to retire Foy. Excuse me a second. Let me get a drink of water. All right, one down, and here is Mike Ryan. Ryan flew to left his first time up today. Terry gets the sign. Here's the windup. Pitch to Ryan, 2-8 right-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. Ryan fans, 2 away. And here's George Smith. Smith 0 for 1 today. Terry into the windup. Going to be a 2-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. How about that? That's 5 strikeouts now for Ralph Terry in 5 innings. 1, 2, 3 go the Sox. It looks like Terry's going to give Alvin Dark more than 5 today. Dark, pleasantly surprised, I'm sure. He'll take it. Who did say that? You got me there. Anyone? Here's Suarez to lead off the bottom of the 5th for Kansas City. Stigman gets the sign from Ryan. Stigman, by the way, in S5, also in his first potential fatigue inning. Pitch to Suarez. That's going to be a re-roll as he fouls that one off. Stigman gets a new ball, rubs it up, and here's the pitch. 5-7. That is a double into left center. That's going to roll to the wall. Suarez will round and cruise in with a stand-up double to lead off the bottom of the 5th. So Suarez so far having a nice day at the plate. Especially for a guy who hit 145 in real life. And here's Terry. Terry is C bunter. He's going to drop it down. 6C, successful sacrifice bunt, pushes it toward second, only play to first. And Suarez will move into third. With a runner at third and 1 down, Boston's going to bring the infield in for Campaneris. That seems to be the obvious move at this point. 1 away. Campy 1 for 2. Stigman checks the runner at third. Now the windup on the pitch to Campy is a 2-11. Grounder to first base C with the infield in. Let's take a look at it. And the batter is out, runner holds. So a grounder right at Scott. He takes it to the bag. Suarez unable to advance. And it will be up to Tartable. Cartable 0 for 2 so far. Left on left. Stigman, here's the offering. It's a 2-9 left-hander, a double to 4, but on a 10, that's going to hang up in right field for Tony C., who hauls it in to end the inning. And the Athletics leave Suarez stranded at third base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Through 5, it is 1-0, Kansas City. And there's Perry. Welcome, Perry. Good to have you, sir. Hope everyone's enjoying this Friday afternoon. Weather is finally taking a turn for the better here in Spokane. How long it'll hold up, I do not know. But what the hell, I'm enjoying it for now. Terry's coming out for the 6th. Question is now what to do with Stigman. They're trailing by a run. Stigman, a 5-inning pitcher. All signs point to a pinch hitter here for Boston in the 6th inning. And that's what it'll be as Bucky Brandon begins throwing in the Boston pen. And Dalton Jones is going to grab a bat. And he'll lead things off here in the 6th. Dalton Jones, of course, started the last couple games at second base. That didn't go so well for Boston. He's just 2 for 17 on the season. Left-handed hitter. It's a 3-6, pops him up, Green under it, and there's one down. So Jones retired. Here's Petrocelli, 1 for 2. Terry into the windup. The pitch to Rico is a 5-6. That's going to be a 2-hopper to third. Charles has it. Throws to Harrelson. And there's 2 away. And it'll be up to Gosker. 0 for 1 with a walk. Suarez flashing some signs now. Terry nodding. Here's the windup and the pitch to Gosker. It's a 4-8 left-handed single to 7 and on a 2. That's just past the outstretched glove of Hawk Harrelson and into right field for a base hit. So a 2-out single by Gosker. Let's look at Gosker again. Not a star stealer, but with Suarez being so bad defensively, not held on, he'd be a 17 if he could get the lead. They're going to hold him on, believe it or not. Let's see if we're back yet. I had to restart. I don't know what happened there. I had to restart Streamlabs. Looks like we're back. Okay, to recap, Yastrzemski lined out to Green to end the 6th inning. New pitcher for Boston. Bucky Brandon will come on. Brandon pitched in this game in real life. So far in our replay, Brandon's 0-2 with a 10.24 ERA. Obviously, the card much better than that. Nice hits to innings ratio. Walks a few too many. For Stigman, 5 innings, 4 hits, just the 1 run. He walked a pair and struck out 3. And it looks like we're all good, yes? Wow, quite a few people in the chat today on a Friday afternoon. 17 by my count. Not sure how accurate that is. Okay, Brandon's ready to go to work now. Part of the order for Kansas City, that'll be Hirschberger, Harrelson, and Charles. Mike Hirschberger, 1 for 2 so far. Brandon gets the sign from Ryan now. Here's the windup on the pitch to Hirschberger. It's a 1-9 right-handed, a 2-hopper to second. Smith, 2 Scott, 1 down. And here's Hawk Harrelson. Harrelson 0 for 2. Brandon gets his sign. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch to Scott on a 3-7. Right in his good column, he lofts one to center field. Gosker backing up a bit and pulls it in for the second out. And that'll bring up Charles. Ed Charles, 0 for 1 with a walk. Brandon, the windup and the pitch. That's going to be a 5-3 right-handed. Fly ball to right field X. That's Canigliaro, a 3-E8. Tony racing to the gap. Here's the play. He's not going to get that on a 2. That's down and will roll to the wall. Charles out of the box, hustling into second with a 2-out double. So a big double for Ed Charles. Kansas City now trying to pick up some insurance as Dick Green steps to the plate. Green 0 for 2 today. Brandon gets the sign now, checks the runner, the windup. Pitch to Green on a 1-5. He struck him out. Clutch pitching there by Bucky Brandon to fan Green with a runner in scoring position. No runs, a hit, 1 left on, and we are through 6 complete in a 1-0 contest. And welcome to Jeremiah. That's an interesting concept. I kind of like that. I'm not sure if I could remember it. I'm going to take a short break here as we go to the 7th and get a coffee. My cappuccino is finished. There we go. We're back quickly. Thanks to running around this morning, I do have some coffee left in the carafe. And to the 7th we go. Ralph Terry started off. Right. Jack Aker begins to toss lightly. Not sure how far they're going to go with Terry in this one. Oh, man, and then I took him out of the game, and everybody left. Okay, here we go on to the 7th. Scott 0 for 2 today. Terry gets the sign. Here's the pitch. 6-9 right-handed, swung on and missed strike 3. So Terry apparently still got something left as he fans George Scott. His 6th strikeout. Wait, no, his 5th. Hang on. I thought he had 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's his 5th strikeout. I beg your pardon. Here's Tony Canigliaro, 0 for 2. Pitch from Terry is a 5-7, grounder to second base X. That's Green, 2E19. Quite a few X plays to second today. Here's the result on a 16. Green to his left, scoops it up Throws on the run to Harrelson, and there's 2 down. 4-3X, Tony C. retired. And here's Joe Foy, 1 for 2 with a double. Terry gets the sign. Here's the windup, and the pitch is a 2-7 right-handed. It's a 2-hopper to short. Campaneris gloves it, throws across, and it's a nifty 1-2-3 inning for Ralph Terry, who has now thrown 7 scoreless innings in this one. So Terry, once again pressed into starting role today, has done a magnificent job. That might be his last inning of work. He's an S5, remember. And he's due to bat third here in the bottom of the 7th. Ozzie Chavarria will be leading things off against Bucky Brandon. Chavarria 1 for 2 today. Righty on righty here as Brandon goes into the windup. The pitch is a 6-7, and he loses him, ball 4. A leadoff walk. Chavarria, a star 15 stealer. Brandon, a +1. Ryan, a 0, so he'd be 16. They're going to hold him, making him a 14. And Ken Suarez will be the hitter. At the bottom of the order up, he's going to try for that lead. 2 through 5, caught on a 12. 10, he does not get the lead. I'm checking the Kansas City bench now. Boy, they've got some bad catchers on this team. Against a right-hander, we're going to get Suarez out of there. Something I don't often do is remove the catcher, as you know. Suarez so bad against righties, he's going to give way to Phil Roof. Roof will stay in and do the catching. A 2E6 with a 0 arm, a vast improvement defensively as well. And he's laying it down. He's a B bunter on an 8. Successful sacrifice bunt by Phil Roof. Chavarria moves into second. And now we're going to have a batter for Terry. And the crowd not happy with that decision. Jack Aker ready to come in. Batting for Kansas City will be Larry Stahl, a left-handed batter, pinch hit in this game in real life. Runner in scoring position and 1 out. Larry Stahl will be the batter. Stahl on the season, .250, 9 for 36. No home runs, 5 RBIs. Brandon staring in now. Checks the runner. The pitch to Stahl. 5-7, grounder to second base X. That's going to be Smith, a 2E28. Another second base X. And here's the play. On a 12, that's the E rating. It's that dreaded 5 on a 28, and he boots it. Oh my goodness, huge error by Smith. E4, first error of the ball game. Chavarria goes to third, and Brandon is in trouble now. Campaneris coming to the plate. 368 hitting Jose Tardable on deck. Let's see what else Boston has in the pen. They don't really have a good left-hander. That's the problem. They've got Bennett. Bennett has proved to be pretty ineffective so far. They'll stick with Brandon for now. Stahl, this is an interesting dilemma too. How are they going to play this if you're Boston? This is an infield-in situation, but Stahl, a star 15 stealer, Brandon a +1 hold, Ryan a 0. He'd be a 16, not held. He'd probably steal. They're going to hold him, play back, and hope for the double play. That would make him a 14. Campaneris will hit away. Brandon from the stretch, 5-5, swung on and missed strike 3. Holy crap, what a huge strikeout that was for Bucky Brandon as he fans Campy. Still got to get through Tartable. Runner still being held. Tartable 0 for 3 today. Brandon staring in now. The pitch to Jose. 4-7, swung on and missed strike 3. Oh my goodness, Bucky Brandon. Runners at the corners and 1 out. He fans Campy. He fans Tartable. And that will do it for Kansas City in the bottom of the inning. They leave a pair. There was a walk and an error, no hits. And it's 1-0 Athletics after 7 complete. And here comes Aker now for Terry. In his 7 innings of work, he only allowed 3 hits. Anyone else surprised that Terry was removed? I'm kind of surprised myself. Seven scoreless innings, walked 1. 6 strikeouts. Aker, however, 32 saves in real life. What's he done in the replay? Not quite as effective. 0-2 with 5 saves. A very high 7.20 ERA. Have to kind of assume the card's been unlucky. I mean, the guy did not get 32 saves by accident. Did 32 saves lead the majors that year? That's a lot of saves for 1966. My guess would be that it did. I can't remember pulling out another reliever card who had more. It's going to be Ryan Smith and the pitcher's spot here for the Red Sox. Boy, no doubt. Franklin thinks the Sox have a chance now. Great pitching performance today, absolutely, and so points out that Kansas City has now left 3 runners on third. Waste not and want not. Here's Ryan now, 0 for 2. Aker into the windup. The pitch to Ryan is a 6-7, struck him out. Ryan goes down on strikes for the second time, and here's George Smith, the second baseman. He's 0 for 2 today. Aker gets the sign from Roof. Here's the pitch on a 6-3 right-handed. Fly to left field X. That's going to be Hirschberger, a 2-E8. Hirschberger on his horse now, racing to the gap. Here's the play on a 15. He's there to make the catch for the out. So 7X, Smith retired, 2 down, and now we'll have a pinch hitter for Bucky Brandon. So Brandon went 2. 1 hit, no runs. Walked 1 and fanned 3. Getting loose for Boston. Right-handed batters due. This is a tough call, I'll tell you what. Better on base, but a little diamond problem there, but we're going to go with Radats. Dick Radats throwing. Now we'll need a pinch hitter for the Red Sox. 2 out, nobody on. They need an A or N shot here against the right-hander. Won't be Lenny Green. It's going to be Bob Tillman, the other catcher. Not something else I normally do either. We're just playing by the cuff today on a Friday afternoon. Here's Tillman now, 2 down. Tillman on the season's batting .310. He's 13 for 42. No home runs, but 7 RBIs. Aker gets the sign. Here's the pitch to Tillman on a 3-8. Tapper to short. Can't be charging it on the run. Throws him out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Aker. So Boston denied again in the 8th. They have yet to score in this game. And Kansas City leads it 1-0. Here's Radats now. Dick on the season, no record but a 6.35 ERA across just 5 2/3 innings. Right-handed pitcher. He'll be facing Hirschberger, Harrelson, and Charles here in the bottom of the 8th. Good time to thank everybody for joining me today. I certainly do appreciate it. Some of you guys are as steady as the Northern Star, I'll tell you. Always there. A lot of friendly names. I was going to say friendly faces, but I haven't really seen any faces. A lot of friendly names that I'm used to seeing by now and appreciate it and enjoy it. Okay, here we go. It's Hirschberger, 1 for 3 today. Radats gets the sign from Ryan now. The wind up, the pitch is a 4-7, and he walks the first batter. Not a good start for Dick Radats. Radats does have a -1 hold, so Hirschberger, a star 16, would be a 15. They're going to hold him, making him a 13. That makes it a little tougher for Kansas City if they're going to thinking about a steal here. 13's the tough choice number, in my opinion. Here's Hawk Harrelson now, 0 for 3 today. Radats studying the signs, now from the stretch. It's a 2-10 right-hander. It's a grounder to second base, smothered by Smith. To his feet, throws to Scott, and Hirschberger will advance. Insurance run in scoring position with 1 away, and here's Ed Charles. Charles doubled his last time up, 1 for 2 with a walk today. And thank you, Kenyon. Yeah, I would think he would have had to. 32 saves to me. Jesus, that's like 50 today, isn't it? 32 saves in the 60s? The closer didn't even become popular until the 70s. Neither did the Loogie Roogie, the 1-out specialists, which of course are no longer thanks to the 3-batter rule. Here's Charles, 1-out runner in scoring position. Radats checks the runner, comes to the plate 1-7 and strikes him out. Big strikeout by Radats. 2 away, and it will be up to Dick Green. Dick Green trying to pick up that insurance run. Radats trying to slam the door on this inning. Give his team a chance in the 9th here. Green 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. 2-6, base hit into right field. That's an open single. Hirschberger can try to score on that. He's a 15 with 2 outs, a 17. Canigliaro a 0. He's coming to 17. Here's the throw to the plate. He scores! Green into second on the throw to the plate. Hirschberger into score, and it's 2-0. And man, is that ever a big run for Kansas City. And here's Chavaria, 1 for 2 with a walk. Radat staring in now. The pitch to Autry. 3-6 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up is Yaz. It's off the wall. Yaz running it down. Here comes Green in to score. Chavaria into second with an RBI double, and it's 3-0 Kansas City. Chavaria comes through. Radat's not pleased with himself. In fact, Ryan's going out to the mound. A little like shutting the barn door after the horses are gone, but still. Phil Roof will be the hitter. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 7th that did not amount to anything. Roof's 0 for 6 on the season, still looking for his first base hit of the year. Here's the pitch from Radatz. 6-7, and he walks him. Ball 4. So here's a guy who doesn't have a hit this season, and Radatz puts him on. And that will bring up Aker. And now with a 3-run lead, there's no doubt Aker is going to stay in. He's a one-pitcher's hitting card. We'll have to swap that out. There we go. Right-handed batter W. The pitch from Radatz. 1-4 struck him out. Not all that surprisingly. But 2 big insurance runs for Kansas City on a pair of hits. They leave 2. And they take a 3-0 lead to the 9th inning with Mr. 32 save Aker on the mound. Pretty much all of the just under 3,000 in the stands still here, enjoying every moment of this one. For Boston, it will be the top of the order in the 9th. Petroselli, Gosker, Yastrzemski. If anybody gets on, George Scott. Here's Rico, 1 for 3 today. Aker, the sign from Suarez. The pitch to Petroselli is a 5-6, swung on and missed, strike 3. Aker coming right after him now with a 3-run lead. And here's Gosker. Jim, 1 for 2 with a walk. Left-handed hitter. Roof flashing the signs. Aker into the windup. It's a 2-6 right-handed. A tapper to first. Harrelson will take it himself. And the Red Sox are down to their last out. It'll be Carl Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski's had a rough day of it. He's hit 2 line drives right at fielders and grounded into a 3-6-3 double play in the first. Aker trying to close it out now. Yaz standing in from the left side. Here's the windup. The pitch to Yastrzemski on a 5-8 is a grounder to second base X. This should do it. Green, a 2E19 behind the bag. Here's the play. It's a 13 E-range. 8 on a 19, and he boots it. Oh my goodness, Green can't handle it. That will be an error. So Green has put on a marvelous performance all day in the field, but he boots one here. First error for the Athletics, and Yastrzemski's aboard, and Scott will bat in the 9th. Scott, team leader in home runs with 7. Yeah, Jeremiah, and just exactly what kind of grass are you going to be cutting? Here's Scott now, 0 for 3. Runner takes his lead from first, Aker from the stretch. So 111 right-handed, grounder to third, that's going to do it. Charles has it, throws across, and that's the ball game. It's a shutout, a combined shutout. Terry and Aker. Three to nothing is the final. I'll have the totals for you in just a moment. Radats in his one inning allowed 2 hits, 2 insurance runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 2's across for Radats. Aker was practically flawless in his 2 innings. No hits, no runs, no walks, 2 Ks. Aker picks up a save. His 6th of the season. And Terry grabs the win, his first decision. Poor Dick Stigman, the hard luck loser, drops to 1-2. And the totals on the day for the Athletics. 3 runs on 7 hits. They made 1 error. For the Red Sox, no runs, only 3 hits, and they also made 1 error. As far as Chief Spokane Gary player of the game goes, I'm leaning to Terry. He's been a reliever all year. His first start, they were only counting on him for 5. He gave him 7 shutout innings. Other possibles are Chavarria, 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI double in the 8th. Throwing it out to the chat, of course. Not a case of a clear standout here. Yes, indeed, Kenyon. The A's are a slight surprise so far. They're 12-10 now. Boston drops to 11-12. Let's take a look ahead to the schedule. Of course, no game tomorrow. Sunday's game will be the Houston Astros at the New York Mets. The Astros, another surprise team so far. They'll have Dave Justy on the mound. Rob Gardner will take the ball for the Mets. That'll be 1:30 Pacific on Sunday. It looks like pretty much everyone is in agreement for Terry. Franklin, a good case for Green. Actually, Hirschberger had the game-winning RBI back in the first. Anyway, hell of a game, especially through 7, nail-biter, until Kansas City tacked on a pair in the 8th off of Radats, a single by Green, a double by Chavarria to blow it open a little bit. And that's going to do it for me. I'm going to get out of here and make some lunch. Thanks again for hanging out with me, everybody. Hey, have a great weekend, guys. Take care now.